Hello everyone, my name is Barbara. I'm the Polish girl who lives in Ireland and likes to knit, and today I have a finished object video for you, and it is a pullover, or some would say sweater, right? So here it is, how it looks. I love it so much. And this pattern is called Potluck Pullover by Viktoria Zachanowich. I love it so much. I got the pattern as a gift from her. Well, anyway, I started on the 10th of July and today is the 4th of August, but I finished it at the end of July. It's just I had to wash it, sew the tag, and now record. It took me a little bit of a while. First things first, if you're looking for the link, this is a paid for pattern and I put it into my website project page. Obviously you can check my Ravelry and find me over there. Anyway, first I'm going to talk about the pattern and the things what I did with it and show you the original photo in a sec, and then later on I will talk about the yarn and tools that I used, and I hope this order is fine for you too. Okay, so as you can see, my pullover looks the way it looks, but originally you can check on the Ravelry page that Vicky knitted it over here with the minis. So that's kind of an idea that if you have scraps of minis, you can knit this pullover, but you don't have to do whatever pattern says. And as I did, I just had 3 skeins and I knitted this beauty for myself. And why did I knit this one? Most of the time what I like to do, I like to make a swatch with the yarn I have and create a fabric material that the tension of those stitches the way I like it, with the needles I like. I got the gauge with 24 stitches by 34 stitches, and I was looking for a pattern in fingering weight. It doesn't have to be fingering. I gauged the same as I have. I hope that makes sense. And I was struggling to find anything, and on the day that I decided, you know what, it's not that difficult, I'll just basically cast on as many stitches as I normally do for a hat, and I will do just the creases and we will see how that goes. But actually on the day that I was thinking, yes, this is the day I'm going to cast on and see, let's have fun, let's have a little bit of an adventure, Vicky sent me this, and that was almost spot on. Well, it was spot on because the gauge for this pattern is 24 stitches by 32 rows. So basically I was just 2 rows difference, and you know, with the rows it depends how long you want to have stuff done. And with this pattern, I'm going to tell you that the pattern tells you how many centimeters you need to know, and you should knit a certain length, or because it is top down, you can, you know, knit as long as you want anyway. Right, but during the knitting I checked my gauge, so I did a gauge check and it looked that my gauge was different. The story is like that I did a gauge. I'm talking, I'm not even showing. Here was my gauge and I was knitting it flat, this gauge, but I was knitting the whole thing in the round. So obviously that was a little bit of boo-boo on my part, because if you're knitting something in the round, you should swatch in the round. Doesn't mean that you're doing a 2, basically you do the same thing, it's just you have threads over here that you cut off later on, and then you should get a gauge. So anyway, what I did a gauge check just to be sure that I'm not completely off anything, and my gauge was different. I got 26 stitches by 36 rounds. So basically my flat was 24 stitches and my actual thing was 26 stitches. Well, at least when I was checking at that point. Well, I also need to know. The pattern suggests to use 3mm and 3.75mm needles, which is US size. The pattern says 3, US size 3 and 5, but I think 3mm is 2.5. Double check that. Anyway, it really doesn't matter. It is recommended size, but main thing is the gauge, obviously. So I got it on 3mm, for instance, and I'm a loose knitter. That's at least what I'm thinking. I was lazy and I just basically knit the whole thing in 3mm. So, right. The pattern, as I said, is about using a yarn, your scrap. So there is a tip in regards, what you call it, a jog, and I read it. I know even different methods, but somehow I'm forgetting to do stuff. The seam is, I think, somewhere on the side, and I don't really mind. May not see it because I also did, I did over here at 2 stitches, purl stitches, so you can see that I have pretending seam over here. So even though if I did a jog, you wouldn't be able to see it because of that, I think. Anyway, does the pattern tell you how often you have to change your minis? No, it just gives you a tip how to do stuff when it's jogless. The actual pattern has a shorter sleeves, but I had yarn I want to use as much as I can, right? And the actual pattern has just maybe a few centimeters over here, so once you finish the body, just do this, and that's all. And it's true, it's as fast as you can imagine. Anything else you need to know? What size I knitted, right? There are a few sizes. So what size did I knit? Basically, when you have a pattern, I would recommend you just to print 2 pages. The pages don't have numbers, so hard for me to say, but I just printed the one when you have a stitch legend and the second after that. Let's save some paper and ink. I knitted the first number, so I knitted, I think, extra small size, but when I was doing the gauge check, I noticed that instead of 24, now I have 26. So more stitches you have in your kind of gauge check, that means that it's going to be smaller or bigger? Smaller, I think. Double check. So while I was doing this, I figured out that I can't stop for that extra small, and I have to go to a small to go over here. Anyway, it's a top down, so I could actually put on and check, and I wanted to have some space over here because you need that space for moving your arms and anything like that. So I presume once you grab the fabric under your armpits and I'm touching it, and the length of your thumbs kind of gives you a space, I think that's perfect. You see, I don't have it too much and I don't have it too close to my body, and I love it. So that's a tip for me for the future. If I forget, whoever is watching that, remember that for the next project. So yeah, I know that's weird now. Okay, stop. Okay. For the sleeves, it was kind of the same story for that small size for my arms. And my arms over here, I think that they are, like, if you want to measure myself, it's 30 centimeters. I think so. I think that's all in regards to the pattern. Then modifications. So as you can see, I did stripes in the front, and you have normal stripes over here and on my back. Although we don't have any changes in regards to the front or the back, so basically I could wear this one way or another because there is no extra fabric on the back to kind of lift the top or short rows, anything like that. No, which I think I don't really mind. Battery. What I was talking? So what I did over here, I did 3 stripes of the grey. Yeah, I did 3 stripes of the grey and 1 stripe of the contrast color. But in the front, I did some magic thing of slip stitches to disturb the flow of stripes. So I call it a messy stitch. Do you like it? Now you can see the difference. Do you see it? And also, as I said, I did difference over here. I added that, and I was knitting it for a little bit longer, and I think that's all. Now maybe move on to tools. Bags. I started with this one because it's just so matchy with the yarn, and I think that's the best thing if you have bags matching your knitting yarn. And this is Bags by Diane, so check it out. I will leave a link down below on my project web and project page web. And this is, hopefully you can see, it says sweater. I had questions myself in regards to what is the difference between sweater, cardigan and pullover. I've asked a question on Instagram in regards to those three things: sweater, cardigan, pullover. And there was like two groups. So first group said to me that sweater is everything, and then we divide it to pullover because it's like a one-piece sweater that you can pull it over your head, and then cardigan is the thing that you have buttons on the front and you can, you know, do this. But the other group said that sweater is a thing that you have buttons and you can open it up, and pullover is something that you're pulling over your head. So the sweater is not overall everything. So I don't know. I think in my head, although I'm not a native speaker, but I would say I'm calling in my head that sweater is everything. And then we can divide it and just be more precise in regard cardigan or pullover. So sweater for me is the whole group. I could be completely wrong, so tell me, what is your story? How do you understand those words or these words? I told you about the bag, but that pullover was growing and I had to switch it, and I switched it for the big one. Okay, let's move to yarn. So the yarn I got is this beauty. I used 2 skeins, so 200 grams of this lovely color, and then just 1 skein of this, and this is actually leftover from that 1 skein. I haven't weighted it, so you know what, I'm going to show you now on the screen over here how much of the leftovers I have here and how much of the leftovers I have here. I am 5'10", so in centimeters 177 centimeters. Hi. The yarn I got it from Knit Crate, from the boxes they're receiving to open up. So maybe if you're watching it for the first time, you don't know, but you can check it out. There's a few videos in regards unboxing. So the Knit Crate are sending me boxes to show you. The yarn that I use now was from 1 subscription, but for the 2 months, which is called Knit Crate membership. In that crate you get 2 skeins of yarn and 2 patterns, and I got 2 skeins of this lovely banana color, and I got 2 skeins of this, I think it's Great Twist color. I think Great Twist was in May and June was the bananas. Okay, so on the screen I'm going to show you both, so if you want to freeze and check it out what it is. So this yarn is an in-house Knit Crate yarn, but they have few types, let's say it that way. So we have Vibalana, which is that bananas, and check it out, we have cashmere over here, Labra Bis, we have Great Twist, and here we have all the wool, and this is not superwash. This one is, although it has cashmere, so I treat both as, you know, you have to wash it by hand. And here you can see the tag that I put up. Hopefully you can see it. It's a sheep, so I know that. And I put 2018 because this is the year. Okay, so I hope you could freeze the screen. Quickly, I'm going to tell you banana, so that yellow color is 75% approach merino, 15% nylon, 10% cashmere, and it's 400 meters, which is 437 yards, and exactly the same thing is over here, 400 meters, 437 yards. So it's exactly the same thickness, that's why I was so tempted to knit with it. And we have over here 40% merino wool, 40% Peruvian highland wool. So basically we have 80% wool over here, merino and Peruvian, and 20% nylon. So I'll put all the links down below. So if you're interested, and if you're interested to grab any Knit Crate boxes, they're giving us 20% off with a KL20. So if you want to use it, use it. It's affiliate link. Needles! Okay, so as you can see, I was using 2 types. I think I started this with the normal needles for the hats, and this is drops needle, and this is 3 millimeters, as I said. And here we have Knit Pro, and I think that's 80 centimeter cable, which is 32 inches, interchangeable, and we have 3 millimeters, and also Knit Pro. But this is these, I think I got them from a viewer when I was starting, I think like 2 years ago, and I'm still using it, so thank you so much. And when I was knitting top down, I had to put my sleeve on hold, and I used these. They're cables, and you have those stoppers, so instead of a scrap of yarn that you can use too, I just use this. Because then when I had to put them back on the needles when I wanted to knit with it, I just basically unscrew it, put the tip of the needle, and just put them back on, and it was quick, nice and easy. And everything in my Silent Forest circular needle pouch. You may ask, have I done any decreases? Yeah, that's probably the question. Yes, I did a bit, and I don't remember how often I was doing it. I think I was doing that every second repeat of this. So if we have 4, so every 8 rounds I was doing a small decrease. Yeah, Yeah, I'm checking. The pattern doesn't tell you to decrease anything with the sleeves because they're tiny. I think that's all. I know it's a lot of talking, but this is a big finished object and I'm so happy about it. I can't wait to wear it. I like to wear it on my bare skin, let's say it that way, because the wool breathes and it's just so nice, and I can't wait to cast on a new one. However, I have a new sweater on my needles and that will be a free pattern. It's not mine, so subscribe, hit that like and see what next I have. I have casted on a load of stuff. Yeah, I don't know why. I think that's all. If you have any questions in regards to the pattern per se, go and ask designer, I would say. But if you have any questions in regards to this project, leave the comment down below. Tell me, what do you think about a color combination? What about the stripes I did on my sleeves? Do you like yellow color in this kind of situation? Because I know not everyone is a yellow friendly person. I'm not sure if I would drawn towards yellow, but I like the idea of this combination. I think it's okay. Tell me, how do I look in it? Be honest, I do not mind if you say, you know what, you don't look so good. Anyway, I love it so much and I think that's the most important thing. And tell me, do you like to knit sweaters in fingering weight yarn? I'm interested about that, so let me know down below, and I hope that's it. If I forgot about something, please let me know that. If you're interested in the process of knitting it, I would say go and check my previous episodes. Check the date under this video and check my episodes by the date. Probably in the previous 3 episodes you could see these things on my needles. I think I only showed it once though, on the episode 59, and I had it just that much. Like I said, it flew off my needles, so I have to apologize to you. But maybe over here on the screen I will have a few photos from Instagram that while I was knitting it, and I hope you enjoyed this one. I can't wait to see your one. Please use #KnittingALove. Show me what you're knitting. Go on Instagram and tag me if you can. That'll be the best to show me what you're knitting, and if you have ever knitted a fingering weight sweater, because I'm thinking of knitting a second one once I finish the one I have on my needles, and I'm looking for recommendations. I hope you enjoyed this one. See you next one. Bye! Vicky, thank you so much for this gift.